the most hardcore topic of all. Best-selling board games. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to BackTalk. Happy Friday to you. I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Sam Healy. Welcome back, folks.
Today, we're going to be taking a look at the May bestsellers. This is information comes to us from Cool Stuff Games.
Cool Stuff.
It's an aggregation of their data.
Oh, that was a 50-cent word you just used.
I got it from Roy Canaday. Thank you, Roy.
Thanks, Roy.
This sentence brought to you by Roy Canaday. Because when you're lost for words, Roy's got your back.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and dive through these. This data, by the way, is based on units sold, so number of copies sold. I will also be sharing with you later on the amount of money sold.
Amounts.
But we are skipping a couple of games that I saw on the list that were had sales. And so we're skipping those because it would throw that data off. We're not going to go over those. So we're going to kick it off right now. Top 10 best-selling games in number of units from May. Number 10.
Outer Rim. Nope.
Baron Park. Still doing really well. I'm surprised by this one, I have to say. Baron Park has come out, a couple of years ago, it feels like.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, so a year and a half,
but
right?
Still,
soon to.
Still on a top 10. Man.
I know it's got an expansion coming out, the Bad News Bears. That is actually what it's called.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So that's coming out soon, but I am surprised to still see this doing so well. It's a great tile laying game.
It's going to be like baseball players on some of the tiles? Is that
ideally, the Bears are wearing jerseys. That's what I'm hoping. Number 9.
I don't know.
They sold a lot of copies of The Mine. It's still extremely popular, of course. I'm assuming that nomination for Best Game of the Year in Germany did not hurt. Yeah. Anyone who had not maybe paid it any, if you'll pardon the word usage, mind, has probably now considered it and probably picked up a copy. And it isn't an expensive game. It's a cheap little card game. So this wouldn't be on the list for money likely, but for number of units, yeah. Number 8, the latest darling, I would say, in board gaming. What is that?
Wingspan?
Wingspan, indeed. Wingspan is number 8. It's been doing really well. I'm surprised to see this on the list because there's been I'm not sure if it's out. I guess it is, or I guess it was. They got some, but then ran out.
Yeah.
It's the
like a second printing is sent?
Yeah, I guess so. The demand has been so incredibly high for this one that it feels, anyway, it might be an illusion, but it feels like it's come out in spurts. So I'm not sure who's got it, who doesn't have it, who's selling it, who's not selling it. So apparently they had some, though.
That's cool.
And it sold well. Number 7, an excellent worker placement game, Architects of the West Kingdom. Okay. This is a very enjoyable, deep game, and a fairly small box, too, so if you're someone that is strapped for space on your shelves, but you want something meaty.
True. It was a heavy game. It was a brick of a game, too.
Yeah. It's got a lot going on. They really jam-packed a lot of content in there. But it's actually a small game. It's considerably smaller than Ticket to Ride size boxes.
No, this is definitely a good game. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but after having played it, I see why people are liking it.
But you like this one all right.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Paladins. That's not out yet.
No, it's not out. Right.
Paladins is not out yet. Architects, yes, this is good. I love this.
Yeah, Paladins I did play. I guess same thing you did. You got to play that. I liked Paladins. I don't know which one I would like more. Honestly, this line of games is fairly similar to, the games in it are fairly similar to the others.
Well, Architects is definitely more in your face. There's a lot more. There's a lot more conflict, interaction going on.
Right.
Paladins is much more. There's still a little bit of going after each other and conflict there, or interaction would probably be the better word. But it's largely a more solitaire-ish type. You're playing on your player board and doing things on your player board, which are allowing you to do other things.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah, it does feel a little more Eurogamey.
Right.
This one also has the really cool idea of like placing out a group of workers to do something, and the more you add to one spot, the better that stuff gets.
Right.
It's a cool mechanism. Number 6, probably one of my favorite games of the year so far, if not the favorite. Raz Arcana is my number 6.
Man, I gotta get this game played.
I'm glad to see that it's getting a lot of love. I've been talking about it. Several other people that I respect their opinions
It's getting a
have
lot
been
of
talking
love.
about it.
A lot of love.
It's very good. It's a game that does a lot with very little. You have a small deck of cards, a few cardboard tokens, but it feels like the combos are juicy. It's interesting. There's a lot happening, you know. So I really do enjoy that one quite a bit.
I just love the way it looks.
Number 5, Chronicles of Crime.
Well. Haven't played this one either.
Chronicles of Crime is still doing very well. They've got several expansions for this. I know Tom just played the Noir expansion, and he really liked that. And he says, from a thematic point of view, it definitely puts you in that world.
Really? That's cool.
So yeah, this is one of those systems that also seems infinitely expandable. The core ideas are there, they're solid, but they are clean, and you can plug in a bunch of different things. They even came out with one that was kind of kid-friendly.
Really?
The Red View one is sort of Scooby-Doo-ish.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's called Red
Yeah,
View, something Red View.
The thing with that is that the company has to stay on top of supporting the game.
Yes, yeah,
And unfortunately, most companies don't do that.
Well, most companies are making something else, yeah.
Right.
But so far, so good for this one.
Yep.
And number 4 is a big game, one we played live here, and one that clearly is doing very well. Lord of the Rings: Journeys in Middle-earth. This
Cool beans.
is also going to be high in the other list, which is about how much money was made,
Right.
because it's expensive.
It is
It's
an
a big
expensive
game.
game,
It's
yeah.
a lot of money, but you are getting a lot of content. This is sort of a spin-off, a retweaking, a retheming,
Madness.
certainly, of Mansions of Madness 2nd edition.
Yep.
From a big game, we go over to
cool.
a small game. Number 3, Welcome to. Welcome to is a roll and write. It's safe to say a hit roll and write at this point. And it is one that doesn't actually have any dice. It's technically a flip and write. You flip over cards, and you're filling in your little neighborhood on your sheet. It's got a little more theme than a lot of these games.
Yeah.
Which is not, roll colored dice with numbers and then like, oh, 6 green? Great, 6 green. There's a little more going on in this one. I enjoyed it. I found it to be an interesting game, and I could certainly see why it's doing so well.
Why do they call it just Welcome to?
I don't know, but that
Why
is
don't
what
they
it's
call it? Welcome to your new home or whatever.
Welcome to your perfect home is technically everything it says on the cover, but it is called Welcome to, not even welcome. I would like just welcome also.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I know the sheets that you get have a blank spot for you to call it whatever you want as a thematic gimmick.
Okay.
But Welcome to just seems like a weird title.
Yeah,
I've seen, it stopped clean. Sometimes it gets the ellipsis. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But whatever they call it, it's making money.
Yeah.
Next up, a big Euro game, a fairly recent critical darling as well, Teotihuacan City of Gods. This is certainly a hit for Board and Dice, and it's KN, same company now, I suppose.
Yeah. Pretty close.
They came out with a few games around the same time. The other one being the city building one, or like exploration one. What was that called? They came out around the same time. It's got very nice artwork from the same artist who does the Paladins of the West Kingdom.
Okay.
Or Architects of the West Kingdom. Like that. Got that artwork. Can't remember what it's called right now, but it didn't seem to hit like this hit. This really got on people's radar.
Dice Settlers?
Is that what it is? Yeah, Dice
Is that what it
Settlers.
is?
It's such a forgettable name.
Okay.
Dice Settlers. That's the
Dice
one.
Settlers.
They really got to work on their titles. Some of them are unpronounceable. Some of them are utterly
Like this
forgettable. But yeah, this
You have
seems
to
to
be
be
literally coached how to say this word.
unless you know that
Unless
place.
you know that place,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
You're right. And then finally, number 1, which certainly surprised me. What do you think it might be?
Dude, I'm so bad at these because usually it's not even close to being on my radar.
Me neither. I haven't played. I've heard a few people say it's good, but I haven't played it.
Have I played it?
Tiny Towns.
No, I haven't played it.
Tiny Towns is the #1 best-selling game in May for number of units sold. That's a big hit for AEG. Again, iffy kind of title in my opinion, but hey, it must be a really good game. I have heard some good things. I know at conventions I've been to recently, folks were playing it. They were saying it was very good. Tricky, lots going on from what I've heard. Hard to score well from what I've heard, but interesting. I got to get this played.
Wow.
I've got to. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, see, that's not even close to being on my radar.
I agree. I was surprised by this one. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the list here again, and I'll tell you as far as the amount of money that was made, not the number of units, what's on the list.
Moolah cash.
So, number 10 was Barren Park. Number 10, money-wise, Star Wars Rebellion. Still selling really well. Big game, so a lot of money there. Number 9 was The Mind. Number 9 on the other list is Wingspan, which was on the number of units as well. Number 8 was Wingspan for number of units. Well, it's Gloomhaven for money. And again, I think Gloomhaven is going for 100, 120.
2 years now, though?
Yeah.
It's been out for 2 years, and it's still hitting the tops.
And it's still making
the cash.
money more than so many other games on a month-to-month basis. That is impressive.
It right.
Number 7 was Architects of the West Kingdom, and it is actually Architects of the West Kingdom as far as money as well.
Wow, that's cool.
It's just lined up that way. So
that's interesting.
It's making money as well. Number 6, Raz Arcana, and then number 6 is Chronicles of Crime, which was on the list. And in fact, for the number 5 spot, they did a swap-a-roo. Number 5,
Raz Arcana.
number of units, Chronicles,
and
amount of money, Raz Arcana. So they just swapped those two places. That happens if the games sell at about the same amount of money. That's going to happen.
One's more expensive, maybe.
Right. Yeah. One's more expensive slightly. It won't happen when you deal with things like the Lord of the Rings game or Star Wars Rebellion.
And then, of course, keep in mind that this is negating any on sale items.
Right.
So this is like what they regularly sell for.
That's right. All right, number 4. It was Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth for number of units. It's Food Chain Magnate for amount of money.
Food Chain Magnate.
That's also fairly old, at least 2 years.
Well, yeah.
Again, as far as like something staying really hot.
Correct.
I don't know how much that sells for. I assume it's not very cheap.
No.
But I guess it's still doing well. It didn't quite hit the list as far as number of units, but it did for money, and high. On that list. Number 4 on that list. Number 3, welcome to Teotihuacan in the follow-up list here for amount of money.
Amount of money.
And then we had, again, some switching back and forth here. Number of units, Teotihuacan was number 2. Tiny Towns is number 2. Which means that the number 1 spot, which was Tiny Towns, well, the number 1 spot for money, Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, because they sold a lot of them, and they are not inexpensive.
Not cheap.
So that is the number 1.
Cool.
We're going to go ahead and take a look now at the expansions. Top 10, and I'll just give you both for this half of the list, okay? I'm going to tell you number of units, and then also which one would land in that spot if it was based on just money.
Okay.
Number 10, Gloomhaven Forgotten Circles. Is the number 10. Nobody is stopping this machine, folks. And then number 10 in total money made, it was Detective LA Crimes.
Okay.
Which is...
that Gloomhaven actually looks like an expansion for Ashes.
It does a little bit.
From Plaidhead.
Yeah, you're right.
That has a very similar look to the Ashes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also the 6...
Definitely doesn't look like a Gloomhaven expansion.
I agree. The six circles around it make me think of Terra Mystica or something like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. It looks like Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn. All right, number 9 is the new expansion to Dice Forge Rebellion.
That's a cool cover.
I've heard from Tom that he really, really enjoyed this. It looks very good. And then number 9 in money made, well, was the one that we just talked about, Gloomhaven Forgotten Circles. That's selling for quite a bit as well, I guess. Number 8, Legendary, the game
Venom.
that cannot be stopped. Now, I know we keep saying, oh, it's 1 year old, it's 2 years old.
This one
Legendary's
is-
been around
Yeah.
for a while. And Legendary Venom, I assume it's the latest expansion. It's been selling quite well. And in an interesting twist, the number 8 for total money made is Marvel Legendary Dimensions. That's a different thing.
Huh.
So that
Dimensions.
is also doing well.
Wow.
Number 7, LA Crimes. We mentioned it for amount of money. Well, it's selling quite a few units. And then the number 7 for money made is Chronicles of Crime Noir that we just talked about.
Yeah.
That one's
having reviewed it. Yeah.
doing good. Number 6, Space Base, the Emergence of Sky Pluto, which is a weird title, but Tom loves this game. He
Yep.
loves the expansion.
He loves the
he
expansion
said.
too. Yeah.
Very good. And this happens to also
that-
be
Sky Pluto or Shy Pluto?
maybe it is Shy Pluto.
Is it Shy?
Oh, it is Shy Pluto. Well, there you go. I figured it was Sky Pluto, but
Well,
I guess
it's-
Pluto is a little bit shy. We all know that.
Well, yeah, he's way off there out in the distance by himself.
Doesn't talk to any other planetoids.
Unless spoken to, and even then,
He's a little shy.
he's a little shy.
Yeah, I get it. This is also number 6, by the way,
So
as
this
far as
is-
money made. It's both.
This is his emergence. He's
He's coming out
of his shell a little bit.
a little bit. It's sort of a
Stepping out into the sun.
coming out of, yes. It's a dead moon is what it is, wrapping him up, and he's finally peeking out. It's sort of like a coming out from the cocoon. I'm going to stop. Number 5, Chronicles of Crime Noir.
Yep.
Amount of money made, Dice Forge Rebellion. We just talked about that. Number 4, a new one, Mystic Vale, the Harmony expansion.
Huh.
Very surprised by this one, I have to be honest. I figured Mystic Vale was kind of done. I don't think it's remotely done. I think it's still doing well.
Really?
Yeah. But there you go, card crafting
Artwork is amazing for
at
this.
its finest. It is very nice. It has a real Fantasy Flight Games look.
Yeah.
You know, Fantasy Flight Games kind of all look the same a little bit. They have the same artists. This looks like that. This looks like the new card art in some Lord of the Rings LCG card
Yep.
or something. Number 4 for money made, Roll for the Galaxy Rivalry.
Huh.
Number 3, Robinson Crusoe Mystery Tales expansion. This is a big box
wanna get-
expansion.
We have this, don't we?
We have this, yeah.
I want to get it played.
Yeah. It's there. It's a big box. It's got quite a bit going on in it. This was actually several things that ended up, I guess, sitting around waiting while other parts got developed, or maybe just didn't. And so they got grouped and released in one box.
I know one of the things in here is an actual historical scenario, and about an Englishman that I can't remember his name now, that actually went over there, and people fear that he got lost
Okay.
in somewhere in South America.
Is that the lost city of Z thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
So that's what it is. That's part of this, but there are other parts
Yeah,
in
there's
this
other
box.
scenarios in there,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's other stuff in there. The number 3 from money made is actually the number 1 for number of units, Madame, for Time Stories. And this,
This is number 2.
yes, so the
number
number
of units.
3 in money was Madame.
Okay.
It's also the number 2 in number of units sold. Yeah.
Sorry.
Number 2. Number 1 is another legendary
Are you
expansion.
kidding me? This
The
is the one-
legendary Dimensions that we already mentioned and how much money it made.
Yeah.
Well, it's the one that sold the absolute most in number of units.
Wow.
Amazing. And then the one that made the most money, because it's big, like I said, that Robinson Crusoe expansion is selling well, and it's making cash. So what was the number 2? Okay, so the number 2 in money made was Mystic Vale Harmony.
Yeah.
There's a lot of swapping spots just because of those varying price changes. So there you go. That's it. We're going to go ahead and take a couple of questions now. Tell us also if you have any questions specifically to what's out, what's hot, what have you been buying? What are some of your opinions on why some things are on this list, you know? And what do you expect to be on the list that wasn't on the list? I'm going to give you that.
Okay, got it.
Because some of those definitely caught me by surprise, I have to say. Mystic Vale, that's one.
Yeah.
That caught me by surprise. And then on the original list, Tiny Towns is the best-selling game of the month of May. That really caught me by surprise. Welcome 2 is still doing very well. That's interesting to me.
Yep.
The other ones I kind of get, honestly, all the other ones. Barren Park, that's a weird one, but it's squeaked in at 10. It's interesting. It's interesting to see this data and see what's popping. I know that Raz Arcana game I liked, people I've talked to liked, but apparently it's also selling well, which is good.
Is Robinson Crusoe more of a slow-moving puzzle solver or an actual adventure?
There's a little bit of both.
That's exactly what Kabuki Kid said.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both. There is this emerging adventure is a good way to put it, in which you're going to, encounter cards that explain a little bit of story. You came across some tracks in the dirt. You hear some critters in the trees in the distance. Get this or get that. And then take this card and shuffle it into a deck. And the second half of that might come up later. It's like, oh, you found tracks and you stuck around? Well, guess what? You're now in a tiger's den or something.
Yeah.
Things like that. But there's also, it's very mechanically heavy also. There's a lot.
All right, best game from Origins, Z, and Roy's in the room too, so he can give his input as well. Best game from Origins.
Best game from Origins. I'm trying to think what was at Origins. It's honestly probably Century New World. What's the new one called? New World. It's probably that. There were not that many new games at Origins, okay, that were brand new releases there. That was one, and it is an excellent game. It is just as good, if not better, than the first, and way better than the middle game.
I haven't played anything past Century Spice Road.
Spice Road was good. It's quick. It's the filler of the set for sure. There's no denying that. The second one, you had ships sailing around, and it felt very limiting. And the dryness of the mechanisms came to the forefront because of that fiddliness of moving the ships around. I couldn't get past that. And it looked like, man, you're gatekeeping me with your fake limitations. Well, this new one, it's a worker placement game. And parts of it harken back to the original in really cool ways, but I enjoyed it a lot. It's got actually a little bit of that Architects of the West Kingdom thing,
Really?
where you can put out a bigger group of workers, kick somebody out, and take the action. Like Manhattan Project a little bit also.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a... You can't put a whole group of people down into one. You just put one in and you keep adding.
Oh, you're right.
You keep
you're
adding,
right.
So
it's more Manhattan Project then.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. I really enjoyed it. It's a solid design.
What about you, Roy?
I was mostly looking for kids games, so I played that Slide Quest, which was fun.
Slide Quest, yeah, we opened
I
that
played,
yesterday.
I demoed the Plaid Hat game, the Quirky Circuits or whatever.
Quirky
like-
Circus from Plaid Hat. You
It's like-
demoed that, yeah.
Kids Robo Rally.
Kids Robo Rally, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was Roy was looking at kids games mostly, and those two stood out to him. The Quirky Circuits, that's not quite out,
Slide Quests.
and then Slide Quest from Blue Orange, which is a really cool design. The way they put it all together is very neat.
Did you pick up anything at Origins? Did you buy anything, I guess?
Did I buy any game at Origins? I must have. I'm trying to think. What did I buy at Origins? I was really on like a mission from the boss man while I was there, so I picked up some review copies of things. Did I get anything? I mean, one thing I picked up for myself, just because I didn't have it, was from Restoration Games. I got a copy of their trick-taking game, Indulgence.
Oh, okay.
That's a really cool trick-taking game, beautifully produced. It's a reworking, because that's what they do, of the old Dragon Master game.
Yep.
I don't know how much love that got. It's a good game. If you like trick-taking games and you haven't played it, I would recommend it. Other than that, nothing that's coming to the top of my head right now. And I know Roy, I think, bought a game from Haba for the kids.
Yeah, I bought that.
He bought one of the new stacking games for the kids. Yeah.
Unicorn Glitter Luck stacking game. And then that side quest.
And the slide quest.
Unicorn glitter something. Okay. Let's see. Just going down. Sam, I played Outer Rim after seeing your review. Really love the feel of it.
Cool.
It's more smooth, a lot more smooth than Firefly. That is true.
That's
People
good.
have disagreed with me, but it is.
So you like? I know you were not a big fan of Firefly.
No. I really do like Firefly,
Oh, you
but
do.
it's
You're
really clunky.
You're the one. Okay.
It's really clunky and it's really long.
It is.
So
And it's really bad.
It's hard. No, it's not really
no.
bad.
Yeah. It's
It
clunky
just-
and long. And bad.
I really like it, but I like Outer Rim a lot better.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Let's see. Kim Petro agrees with you. Best game at Origins was Century and New World.
I played with her.
Okay,
Kim,
well, there you go.
Hi, Kim. Thank you for coffee.
Robinson Crusoe's tops. Kabuki says one of the best games she owns. Welcome to just had to release some new maps, so that might have helped sales a bit.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Stewart says. Z, you surprised Sorcerer isn't on the list, and Raz Arcana is. Are you surprised?
Yeah, maybe. I think Sorcerer. Oh, that is out. I did see it on Cool Stuff's page. Huh. I don't know. You know what? That's a good call. I hadn't thought of it, but you are right. I am surprised. Here's the difference. Sorcerer had a Kickstarter where you could get the core game, a bunch of stuff that they unlocked, added on, all of that. It's possible that because that original demand was met through Kickstarter, that hasn't quite hit yet. And I'm sure they will sell more of them, but it might not get the fervor and attention that something like Raz Arcana got or is getting, because there are no copies till it released. I mean, there was no one who bought it before it showed up. So that might be what it is.
Can we exit out of the PowerPoint?
Or go to the first slide.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Sure, I can go to the very first slide. Bammo.
I mean, it's just Dimension's getting a lot of screen time there.
Hey man, it's great. It's the best-selling expansion.
Martin Gardner II says he's looking forward to the new Plat Hat game Abomination. Lionel Gaillard says, "Did you play the Frankenstein game?" I'm
thinking it's the
same thing because that's what Abomination is about.
Yeah, right. I did not play it. I know they were demoing it there. I did not play it. No, it looks interesting. I'm a little Plat Hat games. I really like some of them, and some of them are clearly not for me. I don't know where this is going to land, honestly, but it looks cool. I like the design, look of the board. I saw the board.
Did you have the chance to play Sierra West?
Yes, I am currently playing through some of those different modules, and I'll be doing a review of that soon-ish. I need to make sure that I can. And if so, likely next week.
Let's see here. David Warren says, I come from the video game world. The biggest show
I come from
is
the land down under.
E3 and video games. Loads of new games are announced there. What is the E3 of board games? Is it Gen Con? Oh, well,
Here's the thing.
Gen Con,
E3, like he's saying, a lot of games get announced there. So by that metric, E3 is probably gamma for us.
For us, but that's not really. I think he's probably talking more for the layperson, not for media or
Well, my
store
point is, when you go to
owners or stuff
E3,
like that.
I've never been, but there are a lot of announcements there, demos of games you can play that are not out.
Yeah.
If you go to Gen Con, it's big and there's a lot of activity and all of that, but if it's there, you can buy it. There. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a convention. So if you're talking about the scope, like what's ours? Yeah, Gen Con or Essen or whatever. If you're talking about which one has a similar feel, I assume, where you can go and try a game but you can't buy it, yeah, maybe Gen Con, because there's a bunch of Kickstarters coming soon, games you can try there, but it's...
I think that would be the better fit for a consumer.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're like a store owner or a publisher or something like that, Gamma probably has that feel for it.
Yeah.
But for the consumer,
for you to actually attend,
probably
it would have to be
Gen Con, or if you're on the other side of the pond, Essen.
Right.
Essen is definitely the on that side.
Right.
Um,
I know I've also heard the Nuremberg Toy Fair, I think it is.
yeah.
Also might have
That's
something
earlier in the
similar
year,
to that.
though.
Yeah.
That's earlier in the year, though. So,
Right.
But yeah. Martin Gardner II also says Planet is a great, light, fluffy game. It came a little fiddly for 11th or 12th piece just to make sure you don't drop your planet, but a great opener or a closer. I don't know how that fits into the conversation, but there you
It's
have
awesome. Planet is awesome. I actually haven't played Planet yet.
Mhm.
We were at the blue-orange booth, and they had one there, and I started messing with it. It's just it's fun to fiddle with, but I haven't played it yet.
it. Uh-oh. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you
All right, we're waiting to be reconnected.
to chat. Why is that?
I blame Legendary Dimensions. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah, I don't know why. This says the health is good. We have a primary stream. I don't know why we're disconnected.
I feel great.
I feel good. I feel great.
I feel wonderful.
Are
Click
we
down on the chat
there?
and do live chat again.
Oh,
At the very top.
no, that's very complicated.
Huh?
That's too many steps.
Where at now? Up at the
Right
top?
above the chat.
Right above the chat? Live
Live
chat?
chat.
Oh, yeah. A little down arrow.
Yeah, just
Live chat always. Just click live chat.
change in between the two.
Welcome to live chat. Successfully connected. Roy's the man.
I don't trust it.
All right, let's
else
see.
we got? Let's take a couple more and then we'll wrap it
Yeah,
up.
we got to get some questions here. Looks like, let me find the bottom. Wow, we missed a lot.
I'm just going to answer quickly, okay? Yes. I didn't play that.
All right, any origin signs of additional 5 types content?
No.
Okay, good, that's it. Shh.
Oh, I know. That's it.
How high would Wingspan be if they had unlimited quantities to sell?
Higher.
Yes.
going.
Really, really wish USAopoly didn't change their name to the OP. Trying to find news on the ubiquitous phrase is a PETA? Pain in the butt.
Agreed.
Yes.
Keep going.
Got it.
We're
All
doing
right.
this
That's a
on-
new acronym that I just learned today.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah, but it's PETA. All right, I wonder how big of a printing. Okay, that's still that.
Keep going. I got answers, baby.
OP makes me think of the surfer wear line from the 80s. Yes, Kabuki Kid. Every time I hear that, I think Ocean Pacific.
I don't get it.
Ocean Pacific was a line of like surfwear
Okay.
that was hugely popular back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
And that's what it was, a big O and a little P. That sounded weird. But
I got you.
that's what it was. It was OP. And so every time we say the OP, I'm thinking, what? Ocean Pacific is making board games now. Anyway, Raz Arcana seemed to have much more natural buildup of interest, but
Yes.
that bodes well for longevity.
Yes.
More
More content for that would be great.
Kim Petros says that her 2 surprise games from Origins was Pipeline and Ringmaster. Welcome to the big top.
Okay.
Raz Arcana drafting is where it really shines.
Yes, agreed.
I have yet to play drafting Raz Arcana. Okay, sorry, I'm just.
I
trying
wouldn't
to-
necessarily play that way the first time, but they're right that yes, that's the way to do it when you've played once or twice. Yes.
Wish I could have grabbed Slide Quest at Origins. We game together. Had to pay extra now because it's not available.
Oh, Ellen,
anywhere.
that's Ellen.
Yes.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You get it later. You can buy it later. Well, no, that's not Ellen. That she wasn't there, so whatever. Tell Ellen she can buy it later.
I think she can make that decision on her own.
No. Get it later.
When are we going to start making content for Gen Con?
Soon.
Yeah, whatever the boss man says, dude.
How about let's get through Dice Tower Con first?
Yes, exactly. Is it strange that Lord of the Rings Journeys of Middle-earth didn't hit harder in May? Seems like it dropped off fast.
I don't know.
I don't know. With it
Does
being
it seem
on,
that
I
way?
mean, it's still on the top 10.
Made the most money out of the whole month for any
Right.
one game.
I think that's
How
still
much
pretty
harder
hard.
do you want it to make? I mean, one day I woke up and couldn't find my wallet. Oh no, Journeys in Middle-earth. How much harder could it hit?
Diana Winter says, first trip to Origins, disappointed how many games were not available to buy.
At Origins? Mm-hmm. Well, which day did you go?
Oh, that's true. If you go on one of the later days, you done missed it.
You have done missed it. I think is what Sam said, yes.
Yep, you done missed it. What are the Gen Con releases to keep out an eye for?
Coming soon.
Coming soon. That's about it.
We don't know yet, honestly. I haven't looked at the list.
That was kind of fast, but yeah.
No, that's good. We've got, as someone said or asked, yes, we'll be doing a bunch of coverage pre-Gen Con, but we've got Dice Tower Con coming up in just a couple of weeks, or I guess 1 week now, really, like a week and a half. And lots of videos, lots of content still rolling your way before we get to that. So worry not, fair viewers, you will get lots of content regarding your favorite conventions. But we're going to wrap it up for now. That was your Back Talk for May bestsellers. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll see you again next week. I know Sam's got a Q&A on Monday next week.
I do, Jess.
We're going to have, of course, our breakfast, the live one on Thursday.
Yeah.
And lots of goodies, as I said, reviews coming as well. I got some things I'm working on for reviews that I still need to finalize, but stay tuned for that. And some of those games came from Origins, so they will be new releases. But for now, we're going to let you go. Get back to work, please, before anyone notices. I'm Zee Garcia.
I'm Sam Healy. One more question.
Yeah.
Oatmeal or grits?
Oatmeal or grits? I don't think I like either one.
I'll say both. I like both.
Perfect.
There you go, Dice Matrix.
That's good, right?
I'm Sam Healy. We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.